Alright, Ottawa Senators fans, welcome to the start of your Legend GM mode. So in the last episode, I guess in the last episode, we went ahead and we actually drafted this team. And you guys actually seem to think we have a pretty good opening night roster, which is pretty awesome. Trenton says that Tavares suits the Senators really well. I think so too. There was some controversy. I think I played it up more in my head that people wanted to see more Legends, but I mean, honestly, Tavares fits so good with Danny Heatley. I think that it was kind of a match made in heaven. And yes, they're both snipers, but Tavares has like 92 passing, so he's gonna light it up with Danny Heatley. It's gonna be a lot of fun to watch. So I'm glad you guys like the roster. On the other side of that, there's a few people who are actually upset that I didn't draft the entire 32 rounds or whatever, and I have a few reasons for that. So A, it would take too long. I didn't want to bore you guys with like a 27th overall pick taking some AHL guy. I actually wanted to do the entire thing. I did a few test runs of it, and I thought it's not really fair for me to go ahead and pick Dylan Strome in the late rounds and pick all these young guys, so then I have a complete team of players I know get to 85 plus overall. That's not very fair. Let's spread that out a little bit, because if there's a player, some AHL guy, or like a Derek Pouliot, obviously I'm going to choose Derek Pouliot. So I wanted to leave it up to some chance a little bit. I wanted to have some fun with the computer, see what they come up with, and I think it did a pretty good job. So to the people who say that they're mad that I didn't draft the entire thing, I'm sorry, but I just didn't want to have a team full of players that are going to get really good in 3 years, and then our team is overstocked with players and we have to trade them all. So it's not really what I wanted to do. I wanted to leave it up to some chance. So I think picking the first, 8 rounds, I think that was good enough. So again, there were some people who were saying, oh, why didn't you make this legend? Why didn't you make this legend? Well, originally I had it so every team had 2 legends, and then afterwards I just kind of went ham. I just kind of created a bunch of extra players. Sorry if your favorite legend wasn't in it. There's some people that I look back now, like Alfredson and Patrick Wall. They should obviously be in here, but it's too late now. I wanted to create a bunch of legends that were unique, like obviously Tony Hand and all those other guys, so I didn't just want to overload it with superstars. So I think that's kind of why I left out some of the notable names, but you guys are definitely right. They are legends and they should be in this GM mode. But we're already drafted. We're here now. Let's start this thing off, baby, with the Ottawa Senators. So once again, Heatley, Tavares, Nikolai Zherdev, Rick Nash, Leon Draisaitl, Camilleri, Berchi, Brendan Sutter, and Riley Smith. Now our whole fourth line is going to be playing in the AHL. Now one funny thing about the AHL is we actually got Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer back. He's from the Japan GM mode, who's like 99 overall. Plus we got Taylor Radish, who's another one of those franchise players. He's like 95 overall. So that's actually hilarious that the 2 players that I left at the high franchise come back to our team, and now they're on the AHL team. We also got Marcus Jokinen. Oh my god, who is this guy? Distant cousin of Olli Jokinen. Who is this guy? He's not happy here. We gotta trade this guy. But what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna make a few trades right off the bat. Now, I like our top 6. I like our third line a lot, actually. A two-way forward, a sniper. I like this line a lot. I really like our top 9, alright? I like everyone in our top 9 forward core. We need to go sign a bunch of free agents, and we have to make a move for a defenseman. I'm going to bring up a comment here, and it's going to be from Rick Diaz. And he says, one last thing before you start simming. Get rid of Jonathan Ericsson. He's a bottom-pairing defenseman making $4 million for like 5 more years. Now, he is making 4.2 for the next 4 years, and he's already 32. Trade him for anyone, for anything, because that contract's going to get worse the longer you hold on to it, and I agree with you. His overall's nice for a defensive defenseman, but I mean, 4 more years at this, I don't want to be paying him when he's 34 and he's 78, 79 overall. So you're right, he's decent now, but for the future, we are going to have to move him. Honestly, I like to move him strictly just for anything. I'm going to see if there's any suitable people out there, because honestly, I would take a 6th round pick for him, because that contract is atrocious. But who knows, maybe he does actually have a decent amount of trade value. One thing though, we are really good in the cap situation. You can see we've only spent $58 million. We have $14 million ready to go. I mean, we only have our most expensive player is probably Rick Nash. Yeah, Rick Nash at 7.8 for the next 2 years. That's a bit much, but he's still going to be serviceable for those times. Zach Bogosian is kind of a rough contract. Riley Smith, $5 million for 6 years for a third liner. All right, that's something we may have to look at as well. That's a pretty big contract. How much trade value does he have? A decent amount. Okay, well, we'll hang on to him for right now. Camilleri's making 5 for 3, so we definitely have some players who are making money. Even the Brandon Sutter contract is a bit concerning. 6 years at 3.8 is great for Connor Murphy. Ryan Murray's on a 2-year deal. Sven Berchi 1 year. So we're going to have to sign Leon Draisaitl next year, it looks like, and that's the only big gun, Joe Morrow. Now, since we actually have Joe Morrow here, he is probably good enough to play on our bottom pairing. He's not great, but I think we could give the kid a shot. He's got 1 year remaining on an $800,000 entry-level deal. He's 23 years old, low top 4. So there's a chance he could get pretty decent. Now, Jonathan Ericsson has a decent amount of trade value, so we're going to see actually a lot of teams want him. So we definitely need some fourth line help, and I think going over to the Philadelphia Flyers to take someone who was originally drafted by the Flyers, and that is Patrick Maroon. You can see here 83 overall. He should be around like 85, maybe even 86 overall if you want to be that generous. The guy had almost 30 goals this year, 27 or 28 goals. But in this simulation, he is only 83 overall, 6'3", 230 pounds. He is a beast, and I would love to see this guy on our fourth line. So you can see there he was actually drafted by the Flyers way back in 2007. That's actually pretty funny, but we're going to go ahead and take him from the Flyers. So the trade value is relatively even. Jonathan Ericsson, I think, is still a pretty serviceable defenseman. Just for the future, I don't want to be paying 4.25 for someone who is going to be 80 overall in a few years. So I'm thinking with the trade value being a little bit in our side, we may be able to squeak a pick in there. Give me a third round pick. Give me the Bruins third. They want to get rid of it. They want Jonathan Ericsson. Will this trade go through? Trade rejected. Okay, maybe just a fourth? Give me something here. The trade value is a little bit in my favor. The trade value is a little bit in your favor. It's pretty even right now. If not, we're just going to do a straight up 1-for-1 deal. And trade accepted. All right, we got that extra 4th round pick. I'll take it. Anything for those draft picks. Anything at all. So we free up a little bit of cap, which is nice. Patrick Maroon's making pretty much nothing. So you can see here he's now going to be on our fourth line left wing. He's going to kill penalties. He's going to be a really good fourth liner for us. So we still got to go ahead and send these two guys down, and we got to find a suitable centerman and a suitable right winger in free agency. And then we're going to get a little bit of simulation done, and we'll see what else we can do here. So let's head over into free agency. I'm thinking there was some people who were definitely suitable. I know Ginlow was in here, I'm pretty sure. Is he still in here? Iggy? No, looks like Iggy got snatched up. There's definitely some options out there. Patrick Eves, Shane Doan wouldn't even be that bad. He only wants 1.5. I mean, why not? 40 years old. Let's go ahead and send this guy out right. I could probably use a player like Shane Doan. Let's go ahead and give this guy a contract. 1.5 million bucks. I'll give you 1.7 just because you're a nice guy. 40 years old, gonna end off his career in Ottawa. Who knows? Maybe he could win a Stanley Cup here. Our opening night roster looks pretty nice. Now we need a centerman if there is one. We got Garbajowski. Who else we got? Zach Smith wouldn't be that bad. He's got the 77 face-offs. What's Grabowski's face-offs looking like? 80. Okay, Grabowski's not that bad, but he's a playmaker, right? I don't really want to put a playmaker on the fourth line. I like power forwards, two-way forwards, those kind of guys. Like Kyle Brodziak's not that bad. Only 79 face-offs, though. Who else we got here? Anyone else? David Desharnais? No. Marion Gabrick way down there. Matt Stajan, how's his face-offs? 80. What else we got here? We got Riley Nash. We could bring back Rick and Riley. Matt Cullen wouldn't be that bad. Another grinder, 85 face-offs. You know what? I think a guy like Matt Cullen wouldn't be that bad. This guy was drafted when I was 3 years old. He's been in the NHL for so long. Let's get some vets, all right? We got Patrick Maroon, Matt Cullen, and Shane Doan. I like it. That's a nice-looking fourth line. You only want 600 grand, too. Come on, man. Let's send you out right here. Let's give you at least $1 million for a one-way deal. Got to give you a little bit of a pension. Come on, buddy. There you go. $1 million for 1 year. Come play on our fourth line. And if there's any decent younger people, I'll have a look, like Lance Boma. We've had him in pretty much every single GM mode, so I'm not going to go after him. I'm looking for like 23 years old. That's kind of my cutoff. 24 is okay, but like Larson can probably play on our AHL team. He is, you know what, we'll go ahead and give this guy a contract, 2-way deal, there you go. We'll go ahead and give a contract to Jesper Fast as well. When we did the Rangers GM mode, he was a beast. Go ahead and give Philip Deneau a contract as well. He's got the low top 9, but since we've got 2 wingers, might as well get another center in there, make one complete line in the AHL, strengthen up a little bit, and we'll see about some goalies potentially. Our goaltenders are definitely set. We got Jonathan Bernier and we got Pascal Leclerc. We are super set. Bressois, he's got the low fringe starter, 23 years old. Yeah, you know, let's go ahead and give him a contract. Go ahead and play in the AHL, buddy. 23 years old, Mahalik, he's the medium backup. Okay, there's definitely some decent players here. 23 years old, I like that. We'll go ahead and sauce you a contract as well, and I think that's going to be it. Yeah, everyone else is Callum Booth, 19 years old. Why not? You know what? Let's get these guys locked up right now. Getting these young goalies with a little bit of trade value. I mean, even all these young players with a little bit of trade value, either they become decent trading assets or they could become something. I mean, you never know with a 69 overall medium backup goalie. I mean, it could happen, you know? So I think that's okay. I'm pretty happy with getting those pieces. I also gave Oscar Dansk a contract. Now, I have to go back and I have to edit 2 players. That is Jonathan Chichu and Tony Hand. I made them both grinders when they were obviously supposed to be snipers. So let me do that, and then we're going to get the first couple of games done, probably get the first month done, get our 4th line ready, and then start the simulation off. Okay, Chichu and Hand are both now snipers. I'm sorry about that. It was 2 mistakes out of 80. I think that's pretty decent. But they're both snipers now. They're all ready to go. Now let's get ready to go and start off the simulation. So we're not going to get our 4th line until probably 1 or 2 games because we are already at the game number 1 mark. So let's get things started here. We'll simulate a few games. We'll get Shane Doan. We'll get Matt Cullen signed, and then we will probably get the rest of this month, if not the next month, done as well. We'll see how things pan out. But we got a nice original 6 matchup. Danny Heatley back in Ottawa. The Canadian Tire Center is bumping right now. Let's go. First period. All right, 2-1. Danny Heatley scores. That's what I'm talking about. Colin Miller and Eric Howla both get goals, and it is a 2-1 hockey game going into the second period. There you go. Leon Draisaitl and Heatley gets another. Heater's got 2. He's well on his way to 50 goals. Leon Draisaitl puts us up 3-2. And in the third period, there you go, Heatley gets a hat trick in his first game. That's what I'm talking about. This guy's a fucking all-star. Danny Heatley. Dude gets a hat trick. That's exactly how I want this guy to play. Tavares dishing Heatley all day. 1T clappers bar south. Fucking all-star Danny Heatley. There you go. That is a fantastic start, especially against one of our rivals in Toronto. I'm pretty happy with that. So Callum Booth is ready to go. We got that decent goalie as well. We're still waiting on our 4th line, so let's go ahead and simulate a few more games, and we'll wait to see if the old men decide to come to our team here. Let's go. Period number 1 against another rival and another original 6 team. Let's see if Heatley can keep it up. First period. Ooh, 3-0. Solani scores. Solani and Bure both score. We started Jonathan Bernier, which is kind of strange, but James Van Riemsdyk gets another, so that line is clicking right now. They score 3 goals on 11 shots. Period number 2. All right, we get 1 Riley Smith, but Eichel gets another. Ooh, that wasn't really a great game. We start off 1-1 here. There you go. The old men finally signed. Matt Cullen and Shane Doan both say yes. Bressois said no. Philip Deneau said yes. Jesper Fast said yes. Johan Larsson said yes. All right, so we got a bunch of players here. Let me go edit out the lines. All right, so now that the old men have now signed contracts, we are ready to go here. I really like our team. We are very well-rounded. I mean, we could see us going deep in the postseason with a team like this. Our defense isn't super strong. I mean, Murray and Fetisov are nice. Provorov is going to be a big piece as well. Bogosian's okay. He's got that big contract, but, you know, he actually isn't that great now that I look at it. His shooting is not that great. His senses are not great. Puck skills aren't great. His physical category is nice, and his defensive category is nice as well, but I'd rather have Bogosian as a bottom pairing guy. So that that's something we can look into as well. And our AHL team, we're going to go best lines. They look pretty strong right now with those 280s as well, and everyone else seems to be doing just fine. And our defense looking something like this, and the goaltenders is going to be Oscar Dansk. So good thing I actually gave him a contract there. Second round pick of Columbus, a 22-year-old, 72 overall, low backup. So you know what, he could become something. If not, he's just going to be a really good serviceable piece in our AHL team. So now that we have everything all ready to go, let's go ahead and get some simulation done. Now I think Toronto is going to be our biggest rival. Who's their legend? Oh man, I forget. Let me have a quick look here, because that could be something that could be pretty fun with this GM mode. We could be butting heads with Toronto for a long time. Who's their legend? Nick Lidstrom, right. Nick Lidstrom is the legend. They got PK Subban. Yeah, they have that sick defensive core. They also got Pierre-Marc Bouchard. So they have two legends there, and they may have three with a goalie. I forget. I went through so many teams. I forget who has who now. Do they have a goalie? Yeah, they do. They have John Van Viesbroek. So they have a really, really nice team over there in Toronto. You're going to see us butting heads. You're going to see us playing a lot. Same thing with Montreal, with Pavel Bure and Teemu Selanne. That's just not fair. That's seriously such a sick team. So let's go ahead and get some simulation done. I want to slow sim the majority of the games against our rivals like Montreal and Toronto, but I think we're going to get the first 2 months done here, and we're going to see how we stack up against everybody else. So we're 2-2. It looks like we win one, lost one, win one, lost one, so we should win against Tampa Bay. It is going to take me a while. We lose there 3-2, but it is going to take me a while to remember who has what legend and who's on what team, because the entire NHL is completely different right now. But we are going to be 2-4-1. Okay, we lost 3 in a row. Be nice to get a victory. Ooh, lost 4 in a row. 2-5-1. Come on, boys, pick it up here against Carolina. Ouch, where's the goal scoring at? Come on, guys, up against Vancouver. They have Scott Stevens, and we shut him down 6-2. There you go. That's a big victory. Buffalo is 9-1-1. Oh my God, they're scary. I actually want to slow sim their game on the 9th. See how we can compete, and we actually beat them. Wow. Okay, that's a big victory. 4-6-1. Go ahead and send our scout back out. So we know there's Nolan Patrick. We know about Nico Hischier. Let's go ahead and go to Nico Hischier there in the QMJHL. Let's go ahead and scout him for 6 weeks. I'm not saying we're going to be in a lottery position, but I want to scout the main guys right now. 6-3 loss. Ouch. We beat Buffalo last week. Let's see if we can do it again. First period, 1-1. There you go. Jimmy Vesey and Danny Heatley. The guy's been tearing it up. Attaboy, Danny. Period number 2. All right, 3-2. Kovalchuk and Carlson. Nikolai Zherdev gets a goal, so both of our legends are scoring goals. Let's see here, going into the third period, can we score a goal late, tie this thing up, and force maybe overtime, maybe a shootout, maybe even just tie it up? Come on, boys, let's go. Danny Heatley, I'm calling on you, buddy. You're not going to get to 50 goals by not tying the game up right now. 5 minutes left, and we're going on the penalty kill. We kill it off, and Sven Berchi, the third liner. No, Mario Lemieux comes right back. Oh my God, like 15 seconds later, 16 seconds to be exact, he comes through and he scores the game-winning goal. Come on, Mario. Come on, buddy. So they have Lemieux. They're looking like a very scary squad. Let's go ahead and simulate the rest of this month. It hasn't been a great start, but the last game we're going to simulate is against Buffalo. We'll see if we can get our revenge from a few weeks ago. We beat them on the 5th, lost on the 9th. Hopefully we can beat them on the 29th. So 20 days later, we'll see if we can get our revenge against the Buffalo Sabres. But 6-8-2. It's been kind of a slow start. Our AHL team's looking pretty good. 8-4-0. We get spanked 8-3 there against the Nashville Predators. But you should be expecting a lot of high-scoring games and a lot of people scoring a lot of points. I wouldn't be surprised if you see maybe 10 people this year, 10 players with over 100 points. I did one quick simulation run on my own time, and a lot of players scored a lot of points. I think Lemieux had like 123 or something like that. So the points are definitely there to be scored, and we have kind of a shitty start. 7-13-2. We've lost, that's 4 in a row. Let's not make it 5 here. Let's end off on a good note against the Buffalo Sabres. Let's go. Let's get our revenge. First period. There you go. 2-1 Maroon and Fetisov. There you go. Period number 2. There you you go, 6-1. Nash, Tavares, Heatley, and Sven Berchi make it 7-1. Tavares gets another one. That's the kind of shit that I know we're capable of, especially on a good team like Buffalo. That was a hell of a game there. Heatley with 2 points and John Tavares with 4. I think John Tavares is going to absolutely light it up for us. That first line is going to be money, but it hasn't been that great of a start. We're headed into the new year, and we only have 18 points. That's really not that good. I don't know what the problem was. Maybe if you guys have any more line suggestions. I think I made it probably the best I could, but if you guys have any line suggestions at all, please let me know. Maybe bring Sven Berchi up, throw Camilleri down, maybe spread out the scoring a little bit. You guys can be the judge of that. As for our defense, I don't know. I think Zach Bogosian's good enough. Just maybe down the road, he's probably going to be a bottom pairing guy. Joe Morrow's already up to 81 overall, so that's great. He is a -8 though. But let's have a look at our stats, have a look around the NHL, and then we're going to call this one an episode. Definitely not an ideal start. I mean, only 18 points. That's not good at all. We've really got to start stepping it up here. But John Tavares leading the way with 29 points. What did I say about this guy? What a beast. 29 points in 23 games. Heater's got 28 and 23. He's already up to an 89 overall, so he's already growing. That's awesome. Same thing with Nikolai Zherdev. Both of those players are growing already. And it's already been less than 25 games, and they're already growing. That's awesome. Leon Draisaitl with 17 points. Looks like our team is very heavily weighted on our top 3 guys. Leon Draisaitl, Nash, and Camilleri, they're doing okay. Ryan Murray's doing decent as well, but there's really no scoring from anybody else down here. Sven Berchi, I mean, 6 points isn't that bad for a third liner, 23 games in. Patrick Maroon's got 4. Provorov, I mean, it could be a lot better. Our depth scoring may need some work. I mean, I like our team. I think we're okay. It's just kind of a rocky start. So if you guys have any suggestions, let me know. Have a look at the goaltenders here. Pascal Leclerc, he's already up to 87, so people are already growing. What do you think the problem is with Pascal Leclerc? I mean, his stats are pretty good. His durability is only 67. I made that because he's very injury prone. I wanted to make the stats somewhat realistic, and he is injury prone. So only having the 67 overall for durability kind of makes sense for me. But otherwise, he's got 6 stats. He should grow to be a pretty decent goalie for us. Jonathan Bernier's 2-2. So let's look at the entire NHL. Let's see what these legends are doing to the NHL right now. Patrick Laine's leading the way in rookie scoring. Right behind him is Will Nye, the hockey guy, and Mitch Marner. Where is Austin Matthews? Oh man, he's way down here. He's got 9 points in 22 games. Oh wow, okay. That's interesting because usually he's way up at the top, but he only does have 9 points. I mean, a few good games, he's going to be all the way up here. So he does have his line mate, Will Nye, the hockey guy, on his side though. Mitch Marner there, obviously, with Washington. Have a look at everyone else. Rookie goalies looking like this. Thatcher Demko, the GOAT. What a beast. Have a look at all scoring here, then we'll go look at the goalies. So Sergei Fedorov, 35 points in 21 games. Giroux's got 33 and 25. Ben, Gordie Howe, so there's the second legend up there. Gordie Howe right behind Sergei Fedorov. Fedorov is just killing it right now. Steven Stamkos, Hoffman, Tarasenko, Esposito. Tavares is right up there with the best of them. That's nice to see. Danny Heatley as well. Wayne Gretzky. I mean, all these guys, you're going to see them in the 100-point range. I can guarantee it. All these legends are definitely going to hit 100 points sometime in their career. Leading in goals is Theo Fleury. Okay, didn't really expect that. Simone Gagne right behind him. Alexei Kovalev, Maurice Richard, Mark Messier, Taylor Hall. So there's a lot of goal scoring happening right now. A lot of goal scoring in the NHL. The goalies are going to have terrible goals against averages. You can see pretty much everyone's going to be up in like the 3 range, 2.5 to 3. Yeah, you can see everybody has terrible goals against average. Wow, Pekka Rinne, 19 and 3. Holy crap, guys, killing it right now. Shutouts, there's a couple people tied for 3, Freddie Anderson and Corey Crawford. But that's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you for watching. Let me know about the lines. Is it just a bad batch of simulation? Should we not worry about it? And let me know about Zach Bogosian. I feel like he's going to be a better bottom pairing guy, but that's just me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in episode number 4, where we get a decent amount of simulation done, and maybe we will make a few trades. Maybe we'll tweak the lines a little bit, because 8-13-2 is not that great of a record. I'll see you guys in the next one.